Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Games get 10 times better when Michelob Ultra is on the line, so race to the bottom of a slope. Winner gets an Ultra. Or enter at MichelobUltra.com/Ultra Instructor for a chance to win tickets to the hottest sporting events of 2026. Michelob Ultra, Ultra Instructor, no purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on January 30th, 2026. Ends on February 22nd, 2026. See official rules at MichelobUltra.com/rules for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, your host, Stephen Wallis. After only 11 days of cricket, Australia retained the Ashes with victory in the third test in Adelaide. And to look back at the action, a variety of guests have joined me in the Ashes The Final Say. 3 former test cricketers, 2 current internationals, journalists, authors and a radio presenter spread across 5 parts give us their reaction to Australia's 4-1 series victory. And joining me for part 3 is former England opening batter Dennis Amiss, a man who played in 4 Ashes series from 1968 through to 1977 and who featured in the historic centenary test at Melbourne in 1977. Hello, Dennis. Thanks for joining me again on the show to talk about the Ashes 2025-2026.
Yeah. Morning, Stephen. Yeah. Okay. Well,
well, you said, Dennis, that we had a great chance and you went for a 2-1 England victory. What went wrong?
Yeah. I mean, it was, really disappointing, wasn't it? And I thought we had a really good side. I still think that, those chaps can play. But the wickets had changed, which was one thing we didn't know. And was that clever on their part that they thought their 3 fast bowlers weren't going to play very much in the series? And therefore, but I think the wickets have probably changed over a period of time and not just for our series. We picked hit the deck bowlers and all of them, they're good bowlers. But the wickets were more attuned to, we could have got Broad and if Wokes had been fit, they would have bowled well on that wicket. And of course, just retired from Lancashire,
Jimmy Anderson.
Jimmy Anderson,
yeah,
shouldn't forget him. But Jimmy Anderson, I mean, if you put those three on, we might have won the series, even now at their ages. But we didn't, because those wickets they were attuned to the medium paces, weren't they? And yeah, they outplayed us in every department, which was really disappointing. I thought they got carried away with the wicket in the tray at Melbourne. They thought they could beat us on anything, and we turned the tables there, which was quite nice for a short period. But there wasn't too much to clean out, but they've learned, and they're playing under a different thinking. This Bazball, but it's they haven't invented it. And McCullum hasn't invented it, because I played a lot against a lot of opening batsmen who played Bazball from the word go in county cricket. People like Roy Marshall, Don Kenyon, and Dickie Dodds from Lancashire, David Green from Lancashire. Dickie Dodds from Essex, David Green from Lancashire. But there were lots at that time that came out and smacked the ball from the word go. And David Brown, I talked to him about it now, and he said, "Oh, crikey," he said, "I hated bowling at Roy Marshall. The first ball goes straight back on my head for 6." And that's the way they played. So it's nothing new, but it's come about more, I suppose, with white ball cricket. It's trying to take the pressure off everybody, isn't it, by relaxing, and we won't blame you when you get out and those sort of things, but you've got to learn from your mistakes, and they are important in your career. You're going to make them, and that's how you go forward, is learning from your disappointments and your mistakes.
So was 4-1 a fair reflection, you think?
Well, it was really, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was a great shame. I mean, the Cummins Stark obviously was terrific, especially early on. Cummins played that test. I thought he made a difference when he played in that test match, but they are great bowlers, aren't they? I mean, it's a really difficult place to get to go and play cricket and win. And all this talk about preparation. I mean, we prepared in 74, 75 when that Lily Thompson series. We had 2 games against against two of the states, Victoria and South Australia. I got runs in both of them. We all had good practice, good workout. And the first ball from Tomo at Brisbane, the first test match, went straight past my nose off a length. So we hadn't played that in the state games. They were beautiful wickets we played on, good wickets. Froggy Thompson had played against us for was he Victoria in those days, and we had good preparation, we had good workouts, but they still beat us 4-1. But they're Lillian Thompson, who's two of the fastest bowlers ever.
So do you think preparation was a key for why England didn't do very well?
Yeah, I think you do need to prepare, but of course, it was all started years ago, wasn't it? I mean, Beefy and Willis and Gooch, and they went to the West Indies and said they didn't want to play any cricket in between the Test matches. But that's okay for them, I suppose, to a certain extent. They're great players, but you've also got your backup players that need some cricket, some workouts. So. Yeah, it didn't look as though the preparation was great, and I thought the ethics of it was a little bit loose, wasn't it, about how they went about things. And if you're getting slammed, the people are looking for things, aren't they? And if you go drinking in bars and in the open and everything you're seeing, so you're going to get that criticism as well. But he was trying to take the pressure off them and get them to relax, that sort of thing. It's Test matches are tense when you're there. So there's a different thinking. But I thought it was a little bit loose. But you're going to criticise, aren't you? Because they got beaten 4-1, and they apart from that Melbourne situation, they never. They did have opportunities in the first Test match at Perth, but had they taken them, yeah, it could have been different. But if you look at that team now and you say, okay, what are they going to do? And nothing's happened. There's been no change. It doesn't look as though there's going to be any changes. They're obviously concerned about the World Cup, so the white ball situation. So what are they going to do for the future? Well, if you look at that team, who's going to beat that team of any other Test side in the world at the moment? I don't think there's. I know South Africa won the championship last year, the Test champion. But they don't seem an outstanding side. I think but they obviously played well. But who's going to beat, apart from Australia and maybe India in India, who's going to beat that side? They're all good players.
So you're still optimistic. You were worried about the fitness of the England bowlers, which did occur during the series. Yeah,
no, you're going to have those situations, aren't you? But you've got Archer and Wood, who unfortunately do get a lot of injuries. So you've got to protect them as much as you can. So you've got to have backups, and the backups have to be good. I thought Tong did well, and the other lads. I thought they did. Yeah, we just let you're watching the ball and everything. They just created some pressure, and then suddenly they bowl a loose ball. And it takes the pressure off. They whack it for 4, and the pressure's off the batters. Didn't keep the pressure on. Didn't put the ball in the right places enough times, which is what the Aussies did. Get people, looking for the short ball, get them back, and then put the ball, up there again on that off stump, which is what the Aussies do so well.
And as an opening batsman, what did you think to Crawley and Duckett's approach? We only had 150 stand in the whole series.
Yeah, it looked very loose, didn't it? Everybody wants to play baseball. Everybody wants to smack the ball. We wanted to smack the ball, but and I forgot about those opening batsmen. John Jameson was one of those chaps that played baseball for the word go, and I loved it. I loved him as a partner. It looked loose. Yeah, to play positively, you can play a positive block, and you think, oh, that's a good ball. My gosh, I played that in the middle. The positive approach of trying to smack every ball for 4 you've got good bowlers. And we used to say, if somebody's a good bowler bowling at you, they're bowling a good spell, you used to say, well, get your head down and let's fight them off, rather than smacking them off. But I can remember in World Series cricket, I walked past the Aussie dressing room, and they were playing West Indies at the time. And I heard the fast bowlers, Lilly, Thompson, Pascoe, and Walker. They're all talking, how do you bowl to these West Indies batsmen? Whenever a bowler, he gets hit for 4. So the West Indies, but they were great players, weren't they? They're great players. And these chaps aren't great players, whether they ever will be, or that remains to be seen. But they're not at the moment, and great players can get away with that. The people like Lawrence Rowe and Gary Sobers and Canai and Desmond Haynes and all those chaps, they were Brian Lara, crikey, they were wonderful players. And that's what they did. They hit the ball and hit the ballers out of the attack.
But it is different, obviously, opening the batting in Australia to opening in England.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the wickets looked as though they'd slowed down and they'd left some grass on them, so they're more medium pacers, medium pacer friendly wickets than they have in the past. They've always been fairly rock hard with good bounce and pace, especially with the new ball going through. These didn't seem to have that pace and bounce about them, apart from the odd ball. So their wickets have changed. We didn't know that. It would have been nice to have known that. How do you go about that? Well, you do a bit of homework, I suppose, but we just took it as read that those Australian wickets would be the same as they've always been, quick and bouncing, and we hit the deck bowlers. All those chaps can hit the deck, but it wasn't to be. It was just a slightly different game with all their bowling being there. One of their best bowlers, medium pacer, isn't he? And the wicketkeeper standing up. You never used to see that in Australia. Keeper standing up to the quick bowlers.
And as an opening batsman who played in 74, 75, when you lose the first 2 tests, which you did in that series, like they did this time, how difficult then is it to come back? Or is it impossible almost?
It is difficult. They felt, got the same side. Did Cummins come back after that, or did he come back?
Yeah, Cummins came in the 3rd test. Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back at you as well. One of the best Australian bowlers of all time. But you're going to be down. You're going to be down. You've got to work at your game. You've got to say, how do we get out of this? And show some fight and try and get some runs on the board to give your bowlers the opportunity of bowling them out. But it's a difficult task. 2-0 in Australia. Gosh, you're right up against it, and things were going their way. They weren't going our way. We were making mistakes at the wrong time. So very difficult to get yourself out of it. But has it been done before? I think it has been done somewhere along the line, but it wouldn't happen many times, I suppose.
2 players with the bat who did well for England were Joe Root and also, obviously, your Warwickshire player, Jacob Bethell.
Yeah. Well, we all know about Joe, and Joe's a great player. He's got such a great test average, and wonderful to watch. You can't keep him quiet. He's just, if he's not, he's in the boundaries. He's nurdling. He's rotating the strike. He's just a really good technician, really good to watch. So one of the greats of all time, Joe. Jacob, well, I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? To score your first 100 in first-class cricket in an Aussie series. I mean, that is outstanding. We've always known that, having seen him, he's good. And, hopefully we'll go on to a wonderful career with England. But he's got a lot of ability. And I think that his feet will be on the ground. He's got a good head on his shoulders, an old head on young shoulders, as has been said. And we like him. He's going to be a hell of a talent.
You weren't totally surprised then that he got 100, because you rate him very highly, don't you?
Yeah. You were in a way in an Aussie series. We all know how difficult it is to get 100 against Australia. So one of a few test innings, hardly any first class cricket behind. He hasn't got 100 in first class cricket. But I did wonder. I did wonder if he might. I did give it a thought. I just thought that no, he can play. He's left-handed, and that I think that's not always easy to bowl to for the bowlers. And But against Aussie bowlers over there on those, he played magnificent innings, and we're going to see a lot more of that from him. So that would be wonderful.
So England now have lost lost 9 of the last 10 series in Australia. How can we win in Australia? What do we do?
You just hope that you can keep producing. I think that's the thing. We need to look at the system, and not all the best players are playing county cricket now, are they? That's a problem. The overseas players, it's difficult to get them. They can only come for. I mean, there are lots more difficult situations now than there ever was when we played, and but you need to. I think you need to look at yourself and in depth, which no doubt they'll do in due course, and make sure that we've got a system that we are producing good players of the future. But I mean, Bethel, he's grown up in West Indies until he came here to rugby school. Yeah, we just need to keep people watching cricket, playing cricket, interested in playing, get the schools playing cricket, and bring them through the system.
Do you think England players should play more county cricket, especially at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I think they should go back to county cricket. Yeah, I think you do need to have a look at the ball under pressure sort of circumstances. You can go in the nets and you can have all the nets you want, but once you get you nick one or you get your stumps knocked out, it doesn't matter, does it? There, we wanted to play as much cricket. I wanted to play as much cricket, learn about my batting as I could, and if there was a spare day and somebody rang up one of the clubs in Birmingham was short, they'd ring up Warwickshire and they'd say we need a batter, and they'd come to us and I'd say yeah, every time. Do you just want to learn yourself? Just learn all about yourself and play. That's all I wanted to do. Bat every day, so you knew about your game, what you could and you can't do. And that's the way that's the way we thought about it. But it seems that there's a lot more white ball cricket now, so there is a lot more cricket. So it's difficult. It is a different game, and it's a good game. Both of them are good games, but it's a shame that the best players are going off to play white ball cricket all over the world, and they're not playing for their test teams. I said to Clive Lloyd when he was at Edgbaston last season, I said, "What's happening with all your players?" He said they're just going off to play white ball cricket. They don't want to play test match cricket. They can earn a lot more money playing white ball than they can red ball, and it's one day as opposed to 5-day test match. So somehow we've got to have a look at ourselves all over the world, really, as well as in England, to make sure, have we got it right? What can we do to keep these players playing test match cricket, because test match cricket is still pretty important to us.
Well, the next time England are going to play Australia is in the 150th anniversary of the first test match in Melbourne in March 2027. Are you hoping to be there?
That's a long way away.
I know. Well, you're fitting well. Hopefully, you're going to be there at the game, aren't you?
Well, we'll see. It's a long way to go at my age, but I'm sure there will be a lot of people there. Hopefully, they'll do the same thing as they did to the last one we played in at Melbourne. They invited the players who played in the series, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll get invited for the 2027 match.
Yeah.
I mean, the last day, I've just been speaking to Rick McCostam. The last time he went in 1977, the likes of Sir Donald Bradman and Keith Miller and Dennis Compton and people like that were there.
Yeah, that was terrific, wasn't it? That was great. A great time to see all those great players there. And I should there be a lot of players who have played more recently will go. There aren't so many of my age still around now.
Oh, you're still young and fit. You're certainly not the oldest England cricketer still here. So
no, we got one or two in the 90s, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure whether.
Well, your ex-colleague MJK must be near the top now, I would think.
Yeah.
And the future for England then in 2027, we've also got a home Ashes series. Can England win the urn back then in 2027?
Well, it's different game back here, and they don't find it quite so easy batting on English wickets and English conditions where the ball moves around a bit more than it does in Aussie. So there's no reason why not. We've got to keep producing good top players. But yeah, I mean, they won't have their Smiths, will they? They won't have their fast bowlers. Whether there's more around coming along, don't know. But I would think that there's a great chance for us because there's quite a few of them that will have retired by then. They'll be reorganising, won't they? Looking for the players of the future.
Well, let's hope so. And Ben Stokes, if he's fit, still to be captain?
Yeah, he's such a good cricketer, isn't he? Yeah, well, I know, I know what I do. I'm not quite sure I want to be saying this on the podcast. But, I mean, it was a debacle this winter, and I would be looking for changes, and I would say that my man, and I'm not quite sure that he's free to do it, but my man to put in charge, and thanks very much, Rob Key. And I have met him and I like him very much, but I'd put Alex Stewart there. I'd ask Alex to take over. I think he's got all the credentials that you want and a lot more than anybody else. He's played 160 test matches or something, 191 days, and he's been director of cricket for Surrey. And he's brought in so many trophies. I know that he said, he's about his wife, and that's very sad. But I do hear that he's looking to come back for Surrey, and I think England should say, Alec, we'd like you to have a go, and hopefully he would, because he's the right man to do it. And you'd say to him, right, okay, you pick your team. And if he wants McCullum or doesn't want McCullum, who else do you want if you don't want McCullum? But if he says, yeah, I think McCullum's the right man, yeah, and we've got to pick him up, and they won't play apart from India where the wickets will turn. I just fancy that they could carry on winning from now on.
So you're still optimistic about the England Test team then? Yeah.
You can never write us off, can you? I mean, we have a pretty good system. It may not be perfect, but we do get these players coming through. They're good cricketers. All those England lads, they're good cricketers, and hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes. And there's a right time to play baseball. There's not, and when somebody's bowling well, okay. Well, I mean, if you fancy taking them on, that's fine. But we would try and see them off. But John Jameson wouldn't. and people I mentioned, Don Kenyons and the Roy Marshalls, they'd say, there's only one winner here. Whom or me, and it's going to be me. And they go for it. And Brooke is one of those players. I mean, what ability he's got. And we're going to say occasionally, oh my gosh, what did he do that for? But he's going to play some brilliant innings in between. So they've got to work it out for themselves. But play positively. But it isn't all about fours and sixes. It's sometimes if somebody's bowling well at you, it's playing a good defensive shot. Sometimes middle of the bat gives you confidence and gives you an opportunity of staying there and playing a longer innings. But the white ball's changed the thinking, hasn't it, for both? And the thing that has improved so much out of white ball is the fielding. But some of the strokes that are outrageous as well, the ramps and all the things that they do is just, and I love to see it. I just love white ball cricket. I mean, I think the T20 is fantastic. I am optimistic. I think we've got a decent system. We do need to make sure we can keep producing good players to come through the system. It is county cricket. How can we make that more competitive? How can we get the best players playing against one another? That's what it's all about. And therefore, from those best players will come your test team. And we need to be stronger. There's no reason why we can't. We've got one of the best systems in the world.
Thank you very much, Dennis, again for joining me on the show and for your enthusiastic and passionate and optimistic thoughts about the state of the England Test team.
yeah, no, got to be positive, haven't you?
With Car Guru's Discover, you can skip the filters and describe what you're looking for in your own words. Simply type what you want, and Car Guru's Discover instantly surfaces real listings that match your exact needs. It's no wonder Car Guru's is the #1 most visited car shopping site according to SimilarWeb's estimated traffic data. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at CarGurus.com. Go to CarGurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's CarGurus.com. CarGurus.com.